Amid lies told by MAGA Republicans about the existence of fraud in the 2020 election, Texas has become a hotbed of attacks on the right to vote and of our democracy. Just last month, a court found that a Texas law targeting mail-in ballot and applications violated the 1964 Civil Rights Act. One candidate, Isaiah Martin, is looking to take on specifically these anti-democratic efforts in Texas head-on. He's running for the seat of the member of Congress he used to intern for, Sheila Jackson Lee. Take a look.
We used to take the word democracy for granted. You see, when I grew up, my parents used to take me to vote with them every single time there was an election. You would have thought in all of these years that voting would have gotten easier, not harder. But unfortunately, I'm standing right here at ground zero of voter suppression. And I don't want you to think for a second that this is just a Texas thing. Because what we're seeing right here in Texas is just a snapshot of what's going on all across the nation when extremists with no vision try to hold onto power with division.
If elected, Martin would be the second Gen Z member of Congress. Congressional candidate for Houston's 18th district, Isaiah Martin, joins us right now. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I used to work on campaigns. I watched your ad, and it's a fantastic message, and it's a fantastic story. I mean, I used to go. I think most people end up in these lines of work used to go with their parents to vote for a reason. Take me with you. We wanted to see that. It was magnificent, even when we were too young to participate in it. But it's such a simple snapshot into how we're moving backward. Tell me why you seized on that message and what kind of feedback you're getting to it.
I mean, it's been such a tremendous couple hours and days. I mean, because our message for democracy is something that we're seeing specifically right here in Houston. You know, Texas is ground zero for voter suppression. We've seen Governor Abbott and his allies sign pieces of legislation that have taken polling places away from line cooks who work the night shift. We've literally seen seniors can't vote because they're seizing mail-in ballot access. We've seen folks time and time again do everything they can to advocate to ban polling places from college campuses right here in the state of Texas. So people are really excited. They're fired up over the work that we're doing to fight for democracy. Because one thing is for sure, that democracy is only guaranteed if we fight for it.
You know, some of the candidates that were the most successful seized on this message in 2022. I'm thinking of now Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. His campaign was about freedom. It was about what democracy is and isn't. Are you looking toward candidates and campaigns like that to make decisions about your candidacy?
Absolutely. I mean, what we're fighting for right now is just making sure that we can have voting rights across this country. I mean, because these attacks are not just going to stop in Texas. I want to make sure that everyone understands that. This will be going on all across the country if we do not seize this opportunity right now as our moment to stand up for democracy. You know, Governor Shapiro has been a tremendous fighter in Pennsylvania. We've seen members of Congress. I know Leader Jeffries has been really working hard to make sure that we can have federal voting rights protections. And so that's the kind of model that I look up to and what I want to make sure that we can continue into the future.
I always feel 700 years old when I start a question this way, but I'm going to do it anyway. If people in your generation voted just this much more, you'd have the ability to sway so many races, not just yours, but races all across the country. What do you view, or what can you sort of educate the rest of us to in terms of the biggest impediment for participating and voting regularly in not just presidential election years, but midterm election years as well?
To be honest with you, we really just have to make sure that we're reaching people everywhere. We cannot take any, person or any demographic for granted. We have to be organizing all year round. One of the greatest things about what I plan on doing is making sure that we're active even when we're not necessarily on the ballot. We have to make sure that we're working to tell people what Democrats are doing all across the country to move people forward. We have to make sure that we're knocking on doors. We have to make sure we're sending mailers. We have to be organized and engaged all year round to let people know and understand that Democrats are best posed to move us into the future and bring a better life for everybody.